This Preakness Picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Edge Boost, the bank account built for bettors. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN and get a $25 deposit bonus. We're also brought to you by NYRA Bets. Claim your $200 deposit bonus today at nyrabets.com/SGPN200, promo code SGPN200.
Hey, this is LeGarrette Blunt, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kram?
Dog.
Where are we on horse racing right now? Because I've hit 2 trifectas this week already. Warming up for the big race.
Of course, the Preakness preview brought to you by NYRA Bets. Head over there, nyrabets.com/SGPN200. Claim your $200 deposit bonus. Get in on the action. Kramer, I know you've been the great thing about having 8 TVs at our office is at a moment's notice, Ryan will just be like, horse number 6, red alert, and getting down. Obviously, it's awesome to get in on the Preakness, but what's great about the ponies is there's no off season.
I said, "Hey, Sean, if you're interested,
yes,
I'm betting a trifecta."
And I missed out. I should have hopped on there with you. And we got a great trifecta ourselves, right? A trifecta of awesome horse racing handicappers in the first. What do you call it? The rail, the post position.
In the post position, I guess.
The number 1 post position. Coming out of Arkansas, you know him, the Wolf of Oaklawn, aka Sir Preakness or his Preakness from the Notorious OTB podcast. What's happening, Wolf? How we feeling?
His Preakness, and thank you for that respect, sir.
Sure.
I'm doing well. I feel like I've got the right level of excitement for this year's Preakness, and looks like there are a couple pretty good betting races on these 2 cards. So yeah.
No, excited to break down the slate. And of course, if you haven't already, check out the Wolf and his partner Barry on the Notorious OTB podcast on the SGPN network. Daily horse racing picks. And there he is, Barry, the sniper Spears. Barry, awesome. Awesome to have you back. I see you got a sweet hat on. What's your hat say? I can't quite read it here. Oh, you got an Orlando? Oh, nice. Florida guy coming to you from Florida, ready to talk Preakness. How we feeling overall, Barry?
You're muted, brother.
I think Barry's muted.
Just a rough day today.
We had some tech issues before, powering through.
Doing good. I'm feeling good about these picks. Can't wait for the weekend so I can bet them all and win them all.
I like that. The enthusiasm, the passion. And if you see Barry and the Wolf looking off to the side, they probably are sweating out some daily races. Great reason to subscribe. Get in on Spotify, YouTube.
It's the best thing a guest can warn you with. Like, just FYI.
Hey, I'm coming on your show. That's why it always cracks me up having
sweating some shit over
Scott Reichel on, who hosts a bunch of our shows, because he'll be doing the ping pong eyes where he's like he's as a guest, but also watching a bunch of stuff that he has action on. Joining us on the line, our buddy from across the pond. You know him, you love him, from the Premier League Gambling Podcast, Malcolm the Silversmith Stallion Bamford. Malcolm, welcome. Or sorry, should I just call you the silversmith? We learned last show that Malcolm is a descendant of a silversmith, and
Probably just his grandfather.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, not to say Malcolm's old, but he's close to the homeland.
Yeah.
He's in the homeland.
yeah, he was he's right there with trades, apprentice, serfs.
I assume
it all happens over there.
I assume you had a battle or two in your teens with swords.
Yeah. How are
Cheeky.
you doing, Malcolm? Yeah.
I'm very well, thank you.
Well,
Yeah, the silversmith chat last time got more traction than I'd hoped. But what I did realise was I was sitting on a show here with Stacking the Money, Real Money,
Yeah.
the Sniper, and the Wolf of Oak Lawn, and then the fifth wheel was Malcolm.
Just Malcolm.
Like it was
Yeah.
the worst nerd yet. I couldn't cope with that. So we've got our heads together and we've workshopped a tremendous nickname, which not only implies heritage and culture, but also sexual prowess. So I am indeed, for the 3 hours a year we talk horses, I am going to be the silversmith stallion. So yeah, thank you for that.
I love that.
I'm about 4 inches taller, I think, since we coined this nickname.
Yeah. No.
Imagine the heat you're packing if you're any sort of smith.
It's just sorry, wrong sound. There's
that
there's your
works.
silversmith.
That works.
Yeah, it probably works for that as
They
well.
also, I mean, that's how you got around back then. You walked around with a marching band.
I mean, that is you want to talk about bad draw. Being the drummer boy, what are you going to do out there? You
Think
can't-
about that. A boombox put all those people out of business.
Yeah, true. Now it's the guy in the 49ers walking out with the
like that.
Deebo Samuel.
How it started, it's like some marching band
little drummer boy.
walking into a gun barrage in the Revolutionary War, and how it's going is Flava Flav with a boombox.
That's why America was the scrappy underdog. We didn't have the we didn't have all that cash to throw around for drummer boys. We were too busy silversmithing ourselves over there.
Got to be dignified and announce yourself with a full scale orchestra.
We have to talk about unfortunately not great news, just as horse racing fans. We'll start with you, Wolf, but sovereignty, not racing is pathetic according to Matt Farrell.
Oh, wow.
It was kind of disappointing. It does seem like this is becoming the norm. People are talking about, should we adjust when the race is?
No.
What? Why isn't the horse racing? And do you think the horse should race, Wolf?
The horse isn't racing because stallion deals have gotten far too good for horses to win one big race when they're 3 years old and then retire to stud. Like, I guarantee that horse already has a stallion deal locked up. The risk of it getting hurt in the Preakness for what is not really that much of, a payout, not really worth it. So I agree that it's like, medical grade boner poison completely for like this entire like season, just, depriving everyone of like a triple crown, and like, it's like murdering NBC's ratings and everything, I'm sure. So, I really don't like it. I almost feel like winning the Kentucky Derby should be like a binding contract that like you're going to run.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they should. I get it.
He's one of those guys who will get
What's the number?
penetration.
You
Well,
want
what's
the
the
stud
number?
feed.
A lot of people are getting their hand in the bucket of horse racing dollars. So what's the number? What's the Triple Crown got to pay? Where it's like, I'm getting 50 mil, like,
And then you're- and then
50 million. Are they going for it? Like,
Barry's shaking his head. Barry, do you think there is a number that they could put on the Preakness that would get
or just the
sovereignty?
Triple Crown in general?
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe that's it. Maybe
Yeah.
make a Triple Crown prize.
they have one. It's just too small, obviously.
Well, yeah. Oh, do they?
Back
Who
in the
gives out
day,
Triple-
they used to do it. There was a $3 million bonus for any horse that won or attempted the Triple Crown, and they used to do it all the time. And then they took it away. It was sponsored by Visa back then, but I don't know why that went away. But it would have sure attracted sovereignty for sure.
Ryan,
So there you go.
I'm gonna,
5 mil. That's it.
I'm gonna talk to the richest guy I know, Derek, who owns
Oh,
Circa,
shit.
and be like, Derek, this is a great promotion. You're putting up.
That's the richest guy, you know.
Who's richer?
I'd have to think about it. But
Joe Theismann. He did a lot of commercials. Also had a lot of ex-wives, so I think that balances out.
I did spend a night hanging out with Jeannie Buss. Throw her
Yeah.
on the
Okay.
list.
All right. So
Yeah.
but I feel like I don't talk to Jeannie Buss as much as I
just
do
that
Derek.
one night. Just that one night.
Malcolm, are you disappointed as a horse racing guy who's going to watch anyway? I'm still going to watch. It's not going to impact me. I'm still going to get down on the gambling, but I guess maybe a little disappointing. Does it impact your handicapping at all? Not having sovereignty in there? I don't know why I can't
that form of the pronunciation there is really excellent.
All over the place. What's your take on sovereignty not running there, Mal, the silversmith?
Well, but the thing is, obviously, we're in it for the sport. Where what you've got now is large conglomerates like the Irish at Coolmore and the Godolphin boys, and they're just a multi-billion-dollar industry. They're not necessarily in it for the sport, so we're operating at two different ends here. And this is a thing in all sports, isn't it? I hear Scott Reichel say load management once more. I mean, I'm not even sure what it's a similar thing, wasn't it? We have the same in the Premier League, though. We've got two teams at the minute in Tottenham and Manchester United who've reached the European Cup final and therefore just aren't trying in any of the other games. And 10 years ago, it just wouldn't be allowed. It's just unthinkable. Like, it's sport. Go out there and try your best. It's bollocks. Yeah. But you can understand why, because they've got this asset which is worth tens of millions of pounds, or you can run it, potentially hurt itself to win an extra few $100,000. So it's understandable. There's still horses going to post and something's going to win at a price. So that'll do me. I don't really care which one it is. We'll pick one.
Yeah. I'm
in the digital horse racing game and photo finish.
Yeah.
A horse a couple seasons ago was retired before the Kentucky Derby to breed because it was more valuable. Very similar to in real life. It sounds like I didn't even race the race
so
because it was so valuable to breed.
To hear.
That is crazy.
Even in the metaverse.
Well, also, without getting too graphic, Wolf, can't they just unload a bunch and put it in a freezer somewhere and then run the race? And hey, if you break your leg, RIP, we still got these swimmers on ice. Is that not part of it, or what am I missing here?
I actually recently learned that like dressage horses and other like different like equestrian sport horses could like within like the regulations of their sport be cloned. So like I don't know, like maybe it's time to start cloning like from more durable stock, because what we do is we retire these horses too early before we learn if they have any sort of durability to race beyond 3 years old. And so you end up breeding a lot of unsound horses who put up big speed figures but can't go distances, and they break down.
Getting injured, breaking down. All right,
that's the wildest shit I literally shout out Patrick Fisher sent me a UFO related video, and I watched that
cloning horses,
and I watched that this morning, and this is the craziest thing I've heard all day, that they're cloning horses in equestrian.
All right, whoa. let's
in dressage, in horse dancing, they're cloning fucking Dirty Dancing horses. That's amazing.
All right, another question.
Can this horse dance? You're damn right he can. All right, put him in the cloning machine. What world do we live in?
Horse dancing feels like something that came out of the pandemic.
Some late stage capitalism shit right here, man.
No, standardbreds, they do that. Standardbreds, the buggies.
Really?
They don't have to have. Yeah, they don't have to have horse sex.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They test tube babies.
Ryan, I almost forgot. It is not officially a horse racing show.
We're talking about horses having sex.
I put on my horse racing glasses.
You have to know when to come.
All right. I got the glasses on. We're ready to rock. We're ready to roll. Starting with Friday. Race 13, 9 furlong, grade 2, the Black Eyed Susan on dirt. We'll start with you, Wolf. Tell us about the race and tell us what you like.
So the Black Eyed Susan is a standout race in the sense that there are no standouts. This is like a $200,000 or $300,000 purse. Like they're really not paying very much for this race, which is like their feature, like 3-year-old filly race. So it didn't really attract a whole lot of people, but I think it makes for like some pretty interesting options betting wise. I think the pace here is going to be fair. I don't think it's going to be exceedingly hot. I don't think it's going to be exceedingly slow. So I think your winner probably comes from like mid pack or closer, or even if they go super slow from the front. I'm going to be a little bit of a homer with my pick here
Ooh.
in the Black Eyed Susan. And I'm going to go with number 5, Kinsey Queen, who's 10-1 on the morning line. He's owned by friend of the Notorious OTB, who's been on the show, John Holloman.
Ooh,
And
love that.
I think the horse will be sitting the mid-pack trip I talked about, widen in the clear. And Kinsey Queen's coming off of like the best buyer speed figure last out, where the horse put up a 83, which sadly dusts a lot of horses in this race. So I'm going to bet Kinsey Queen to win. Barry and I have had this conversation like a couple times this week at like, what price do you still bet Kinsey Queen to win? And I honestly think like 6-1 and above, you still do it. Get a little jock upgrade with Kentucky Derby winner Junior Alvarado. I'm also going to play an exacta here and press this opinion with Kinsey Queen on top of the 3 Margie's Intention and the 8 a Marth underneath, which if this thing goes 5-8, then it will be a exacta for the Sire McKenzie.
Rain on the forecast for Friday. It doesn't look like Saturday. And are we worried about that at all? That track was really like, what was it? Greased owl shit. I forget your description, but are we expecting more greased owl shit on Friday?
It's so hard to tell because there's going to be so much rain leading into it. Like, how saturated is this going to be? If they get a seal on it, like, is it going to be like really like soaked down to the core? So it's going to be hard to tell. Usually it plays better to early speed though.
Okay.
Barry the sniper.
Sir.
What are you doing here for the Black Eyed Pea?
Yeah, I agree with Chase that.
Sorry, Black Eyed Susan. Come on, that's an honest
I was trying
mistake.
to keep it together.
Barry, it's fine. You can laugh at me. Black Eyed
just had Fergie on the mind.
Yeah, well, that video of her wetting herself is pretty hilarious. But yes, Black Eyed Susan. My apologies. Barry, what do you got there?
You know, I think this is a tough race because a lot of these horses look the same on paper. If you go through the entire field, they all kind of run the same sort of speed figure. They all have sort of the same sort of running style. So it's going to be hard to parse who's going to do what. But I landed on kind of the horse that's on the rise, the number 7 Reply. Brittany Russell is based in the Mid-Atlantic, does a lot of her work at Laurel. She got this horse from Mike Rapoli, who is the self-proclaimed commissioner of horse racing. This horse ran well at Colonial, and that weekend, that racetrack was totally speed favoring, and this horse was one of the few horses that closed on that track. Came out of that one, stretched out, and almost won a stake race first time jumping up. So I think the wet track and this horse again, big improvement. In fact, improved to the winner's circle.
I like it. The Silversmith. What do you got? I see. We have some consensus.
We need like a ding, ding, ding.
You're on.
I like the Inquisition pronunciation. El Cimentel Plantero.
Silversmith, you're on the clock. What do you like here for Black Eyed Susan?
A couple of things. Firstly, my 13-year-old son, who's sitting 1 yard behind me, enjoyed all of that horse sex talk. That'll give him something to take to school tomorrow. Secondly, I don't know if you know, I'm quite the horticulturalist, and I've actually cultivated some Black Eyed Susans out in my back garden. Yeah, and they've worked an absolute treat because we have this chat every year. So I thought I'd buy some. The key, if anyone wants to know, is a little bit of tomato food about once a week. They absolutely come up lovely. In terms of the race, Barry,
only
the
is he a silversmith.
Yeah, it's also gardening.
Green thumb.
This is great.
This is fantastic.
Endless talent. Barry's got the right answer. Reply. Horse number 7. What you're looking for here really is a horse that stays the trip. And there's not many in this field that are confirmed stayers. And adding on to Barry's point about the horse closing, didn't look like it was stopping near the line. Quite a big horse, needs to get organised, but will be staying on late. And in a race where there's question marks about the stamina of a lot of them, Reply, it's a really nice price as well, around about 8 or 10 to 1, maybe something like that. So yeah, I'm on the same team as Barry here. I like the number 7 reply.
Kramer, what are we gonna do?
Well, I was gonna say interesting. Some horse talk real quick because I learned. Not recently, but my journey in the digital horse game caused me to learn the term stayer, which I realized, which is a horse term for like long distance runners, essentially, and it comes from the English who just use it to say something's durable. From what I understand,
sturdy.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, just the stayer.
Yeah,
I was using that as if you knew what it was. Yeah, apologies.
Well,
Yeah,
I know,
something with a bit of
Malcolm.
stamina.
I know as a digital horseman. I know. I was just making sure Sean in the audience.
Yeah, well,
understood.
I appreciate that. I could do the math on stare. I'm also just I'm cracking up thinking of Malcolm the silversmith and his son going to school and like, what does your dad do for a living? He talks about horse sex on the internet. Are you sure? Are you sure that's what your dad does for a living?
I mean, I will say, and this might come across a little fucked up, but I still have a visual memory of playing as a kid, vacationed on a farm resort in New Hampshire.
Okay.
Basketball court was right near where some of the horse hung out. And first time I saw a horse just get rock hard. It was
jarring.
Exactly
Jarring
I mean,
to
first
see.
of all, I still to this day remember. I can smell the fucking air from that day. It was.
Well, they say scent is the strongest form of memory. So,
and shout out to Malcolm's son. He's got full education here.
I anytime there's consensus, I gotta tail it. Barry,
great transition.
Barry and the silversmith, the sniper and the silversmith. I'm only going to use nicknames now.
Speaking
Sniper,
of rock hard, I'm rock hard for the number 7.
Yeah, number 7 reply. And no offense to Wolf, but he admitted it was a little bit of a homer play. Well, let's go.
No,
I'm
gonna play both.
Okay, I'm just going reply to win. I'm seeing about 8-1 right now. We'll see what that ends up closing. Of course, a reminder: make sure you sign up for the Edge Boost card if you haven't already. EdgeBoost.bet. Promo code SGPN. No usage fees, no minimums. Earn cash back rewards. Cash back for gambling. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
100% approval on all betting deposits. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN. Deposit $25 and EdgeBoost will match the deposit. That's edgeboost.bet. Promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Underdog. Sign up over on Underdog Fantasy. Use that promo code SGPN. They're giving away millions with the Best Ball Mania 6, $2 million to first place just for drafting a fantasy football team. Hell freaking yeah. And of course, when you use the promo code SGPN, you get up to $1,000 in bonus credits, which would be 40 shots to win $2 million playing fantasy football. It doesn't get any better than that. All right, Wolf, let's move to Saturday. Race 8, which is not the official Preakness. It is the Chick Lang Stakes.
Ooh, a little sprint here.
In honor of Chick Lang, 6 furlong, 150K up for grabs. What do we like in race 8 on Saturday?
I don't know who Chick Lang is, but I imagine he liked scotch and played grab ass. That's how I think.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a new. He doesn't sound like a millennial. It definitely sounds like an old guy.
Thought it was Benny Hill's brother.
Yeah, Chick Lang is a frequent stayer of the airport Ramada.
Right out of Anchorman.
So we picked this out because this was a race that I thought could get wild. You've got a sprint race. It's a full field of 11 horses. It should get a little bit chaotic. And while I don't think the win bet necessarily produces a bomb, I think there's like bomb potential in the exactas and trifectas here. I'm taking like the hometown Maryland horse here as my win bet with the 7 Faster Gator. 6-1. You got Anthony Ferrier training with local jock Armando Bocachica up, and winner of 2 straight here in Maryland to start the career. Took a big step forward and ran a game second against a horse named Mo Plex last out, who got to set pretty soft fractions and just ran away with it on the front end. So I really like that 7 Faster Gator to win, and then I'm going to pair it up with a bomb. In the number 11 at 12-1 for Cherie DeVoe, who will probably take a little bit of money because we've got Irad Ortiz up at 12-1. So I'll use them at first, and then in third, I'm wheeling in the almighty Dale Tar's horse, the number 6. Keep it easy at 4-1. Praise be to the Dale Tar. Huzzah! So that's a 7-Eleven with 6-7-11 exact.
7-Eleven, my birthday.
This is interesting. So Chick Lang was a jockey. But I actually think this might be named after his son, Chick Lang Jr., who was a general manager at Pimlico for many years. So, but yeah, and as a jockey, he 1 year had 186 wins in a year.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's insane.
1922.
That's like you're winning every other day.
His jockey contract was purchased by an oil baron of May 1922 for 25 grand. Sounds like a lot of money.
It's a lot
then.
for a jockey.
Must have been good.
Sniper, what do we like here in the Chick Lang run?
Well, I unfortunately usually me and Wolfie don't really jive too much with our picks, but I am also on Faster Gator here. For a lot of the reasons that he talked about, I think this horse will do excellent on the wet track. And honestly, this horse has improved every time on the track, which really I like a lot, especially going into these kind of races where some others will get bet and this one will be slightly under the radar. And then I'm going to use the one, throw a couple downfield for second here. The one, Slam Notion, likes the track, one on a wet track before, and the 11, Retribution, on the outside, gets top rider Irad Ortiz, should be coming late.
So I think we have some consensus there.
Yeah, no, it sounds like 7-Eleven, which is my
Open
birthday.
all day.
Silversmith,
Free Slurpees on your birthday, Sean.
Yeah, great bonus birthday perk.
In this country, Malcolm. Apologies.
Yeah.
I don't.
We have Slurpees.
Do you have
They're
that?
delicious drinks. I don't think you guys don't have 7-Elevens.
You
right?
don't have Slurpees?
No, I know what they are from watching terrible American movies. They're just big.
Yeah,
a big cup.
Well, there's a couple things. Yeah, you're probably thinking of like
That's a little complicated.
Big gulp. On the Simpsons, poo and the squishy machine. That is what you would be. That would be like the traditional Slurpee. As part of our culture, high fructose corn syrup gets spun around in some ice, and it's a delicious summer.
I do remember having that giant inflatable or in insulated mug, and just you could fill that up with like the 64-ounce mug. You could fill up with Slurpee.
Well,
the refill price was like $1 or something.
This was we called it the Slurpee trick at 7-Eleven. What you would do is you get the biggest like Slurpee cup you could find, and then you would put candy and gum and everything else in the Slurpee cup, and then just put the Slurpee on top of it. They charge you for one Slurpee. Now, granted, you have all this soggy stuff, but it's free. So it was a good hack at the time.
Kids today would not figure that out.
No, they would be no. Come on, they would never use that ingenuity. Silversmith, I noticed you didn't have a play here. Maybe you want to substitute for more gardening tips. What's your take on this race here?
My equivalent of that, the Slurpee, is hiding several rashers of bacon underneath ladles of beans in the queue at the canteen, and just like 50 pence for a portion of beans, and you've got 8 rashers of bacon underneath. The perfect crime. My picks on this are very much a social experiment. I wouldn't take any notice of them. I couldn't find a decent form guide, so Chase sent me over the US form guide. I had a look at it. It looked like a dog track guide, like a greyhound guide that I would use. So I had a look, and I picked out the number 6, Keep It Easy, and I picked out number 11, Retribution, which the other boys have also mentioned. So I completely and utterly did this. I raw dogged this, is what the young people would say. So no confidence behind my plays, but I read it old school, and I came out with 6 and 11.
It's impressive.
It was very fun. I mean, hearing raw dog in a British accent will never get old.
It's the secret to Guy Ritchie movies. It's the British accent.
And I do remember reading a headline about the Cardinals selecting the Pope, and how they were getting rid of their phones and they weren't going on social media, and headline wrote they are raw dogging it on their decision for the Pope, which the Catholic Church does approve of that. Not a big fan of birth control.
They better hit up the Saints PR team again for some help.
Kramer, it sounds like we got to play faster, Gator.
Yeah.
And just because
Malcolm, so Malcolm
7 and the 11, right?
But Malcolm and Chase also overlapped with the 6.
Okay, so
maybe we just do 7, 11, and 6 as a try box.
Okay, 7, 11, 6 try box, and then 7 to win.
Yeah.
Right, that feels good. All right, writing this down so we get in the old notes there. Moving on, race 13, $2 million up for grabs. The grade 1 Preakness. Wolf, you have the floor. What do you like here?
You know, the race kind of turned into a little bit of a dud here in terms of who showed up, and save for a few horses that should really kind of tower over this field. Basically, tactics or racing luck would need to get wacky for like outside of the top 4 on the morning line to win. I think the gamble in this race is saying that either Journalism or Sandman are going to spot this field a little bit too much early and not be able to get all the way up to close. Remember, the race is a little bit shorter than Kentucky Derby. They're not going to have as much runway. Journalism had a little more runway last time and couldn't catch up to Sovereignty. So something to consider. You know, there are 3 horses that are capable of running 100 buyer or greater. And I'm going to win bet the one with the best odds. I think is competitive on figures. And I think it's going to have to take the field gate to wire. It's the number 8 Clever Again at 5-1 for Steve Asmussen. We get Jose Ortiz up. That's my win bet. And I'll also be shocked if the other horses in the Exacta aren't the only other like decently talented horses in the race with Journalism and Sandman. So I'm going to keep my best opinion here. The 8 Clever Again at 5-1 on top in the Exacta, and then I'm going to use the 2 and the 7 underneath Sandman and Journalism.
Okay. Clever Again. Currently seeing him around 5-1.
I was commenting to Sean before the show that the Preakness is always an interesting race because it always seems to have like 2 things that the Derby doesn't. Not a lot of horses and horses that clearly don't have a chance to win.
Yeah.
That will do anything. That will just YOLO for it.
Yeah.
You know?
And that could obviously set things off. Sniper, what do you, AKA Barry Sniper Spears, what do you like here for the old Preakness?
Yeah, this is a real interesting race because of Journalism. He kind of towers over this field speed figure wise. And the problem with it is he could regress and still beat this field. But I'm going to side against that in this spot. And I'm going to place him second. I'm going to use River Thames on top. I think this horse is another one. The theme of improving horses goes on here. I think River Thames is an ultra improving horse. That Fountain of Youth turned out to be kind of a key race. A lot of horses came out of that and ran well, including River Thames, who didn't fare all that badly in the Bluegrass, and that ended up being quite a strong race too. So we're going to use that one on top with Journalism second. I still think this horse is very, very good. Might be a little bit tired from the Derby, but still better than most of these horses. And then I'm going to use 2 horses underneath, 2 long shots, because that's kind of the thing that happens in the Preakness, the local horses, or something wacky happens. So we're going to use the European Heart of Honor, who looked good on the track actually today, and the number 9 Gosker to finish up our trifecta so we can line our pockets where we go home.
Gosker. Yeah, that's a very interesting name. And yeah, we got Journalism obviously is the big favorite. We'll kick it over to you, Silversmith. How do you see the Preakness shaking out here?
Yeah, we said last time you don't need us to sit here and pick Journalism on your behalf at 3-1 or plus 275, whatever it was. And kind of the same thing applies here. The horse is 9-10. However, it is very obviously the best horse and the most likely winner. You're not going to win any prizes for it. The negatives for it are the quick turnaround, and we've just talked about load management, etc. In the history of horses coming back after the Derby. We've seen it with Mage and other horses recently. The only thing I would say this time round, the connections of this horse have been quite considered. They didn't wait until 5 minutes after the Derby and say, "Oh, let's go, next stop, Pimlico." They gave the horse a week to see how the horse came out of the race. And several green lights, ticks in boxes, they're going to go for it. So it's been more of a considered approach. I'm absolutely on the same page as Barry again here. The number 6, River Thames, really nice price. And what I like about this horse is that they actively swerved the Kentucky Derby with this horse. It was only beaten a neck by Sovereignty. So a traditional form line if you want to go directly through Sovereignty. But they thought this trip would suit the horse better, so they eschewed the Derby to come straight here. Third in the Bluegrass behind Burnham Square, another direct form line that's good. I like it. Tom Pletcher's never won a Preakness. He'd be dying to get one on the card. And the fly in the ointment, I really like the number 9. I like Goska at 25 to 1. As a true natural improvement is what the trainer says this horse is going to demonstrate. It's only started 3 times, won a grade 3 last time. And one of the things I like when I'm handicapping is looking for an improver. I want to see something that's got that little bit of ceiling left in it. And I think the 9 has. So I'll be playing, again, as a British bettor, an each way bet on River Thames for me would be great. It's like the equivalent of win, place, show. So if it gets turned over by journalism, there's still profit to be had in the place and show markets. So I'll play River Thames along with journalism in the exacta. And then the number 9, Goska, can follow them home for the 1, 2, 3.
Love it. Kramer and I will give out our plays in just a second before we get to it. Shout out to Rhythm. We got the NBA playoffs. We got the PGA Championship. I use Rhythm, their golf model, to give out Soon JM top 20 at plus 275. I've also been using it for some NBA player props in the playoffs, and the MLB guys on the prop show. Shout out to the MLB Gambling Podcast, have been doing very well with their MLB models. Get it all starting with your free 7-day trial, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RATHMM. And of course, use our promo code SGPN 25% off the monthly plan, SGPN 50 for 50% off the annual. And Ryan, Circa, the ultimate fantasy football giveaway. We talk about Circa all the time, and why not? It is the ultimate destination for a sports bettor, and they're giving away this awesome draft party. You and 11 friends, 2-night stay, $5,000 open bar package, just so much, limo rides, overhang party, and Kramer and I will MC a draft if you guys want us to. Enter today. All you need is your name and your email. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CIRCA. Kramer,
You forgot to mention that maybe you can have an in-person argument with Colby.
Yeah,
well.
we are
That
also
might be on the table.
offering in-person arguments with Colby. I'll tell you, I kind of
This seems easy.
really. What are you doing?
They're all speaking the same language about journalism, so that we got to throw journalism in with our trifecta.
Okay.
Right.
What jumped out for me, and I was playing some consensus stuff. Chase likes the 8. Malcolm obviously likes journalism, and so does Barry. But Barry likes the River Thames there. I think I'm going to do an 8-2-6 try box. Covers us a lot of ways, and then just in case, Gosker the Grouch, number 9.
Yeah.
At what 20 to 1 in the futures market. Wolf, I saw you shaking your head. What do you think about that as a strategy? 8-2-6 in the try box, 9 to win. How we feel? What are you laughing at?
No, actually, I like that quite a bit, because whenever you're building these bets, it's always good to mix up your run styles, because it's not all just front runners who are going to hit the wire at the same time. Like, it's a horse that's going to be creeping up from the back. It's going to be a horse that was hanging on, for a piece for third. So yeah, no, I think it'll be a good ticket. I think he got the winning try right there with the 8-2-6. Fuck these guys.
So
Kramer, what are you doing?
Well, there's consensus amongst the 2, and decently consensus on the 6, the 9.
Yeah.
Really, Chase was just on his own. I did see that the Sandman horse. That's an interesting one. I don't know if you saw the highlights of them performing over there in Lane Stadium in Blacksburg. That was very fabulous. I'm sure it caught your feed. Sean.
Yeah, no, it did. Metallica
pretty epic.
finally played Lane Stadium.
Yeah, finally. I will say though, quick aside, the musician trying to do like a sports let's go. He's like, let's go.
Is that Lars? Is that your
like,
Lars?
It's like a let's go Hokies. And he's like, let's go. It's like, all right, move on. Yeah, no, I'm here's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I think the 269 try box, put that to the side.
Okay.
I'm completely
not the 8.
Not well, again.
I'm just confirming.
I'm just confirming.
Okay.
I also am gonna play a 287 try box.
Okay.
I'm tailing all the experts, tailing 100% of the experts. This is what I didn't do last time. I didn't have enough bets on the race. I was very.
They're only 9
let me paint
horses.
the stage. I'm at the win, and I have basically a couple bets on horses to win, the money bag bets, and then I took the 11 through 20 gate. And there's all these people at the win. Like it's the most electric I've ever seen the Win Sportsbook, Sean. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
You. Like when we've been there for March Madness, there's more people standing up. They got the ropes out so you can't block the way. And the race happens and it's just like, that fucking sucked. That sucked. I lost everything. And so this
you got
time,
the gate right.
This time I'm going to diversify. So I'm playing multiple trifectas. I'm also going to do a 2-6-9-8 superfecta box. We'll see. Maybe for 50 cents or $1. What's the minimum they let you do on the Preakness for the super?
It might be $1 on. It might be $1 on Preakness Day.
Let's go.
But
what's
we'll
that?
see.
What's that box then?
On Kentucky Derby Day.
48x, right?
For 4 horses in
sure
a box,
it
is $24, I believe.
Oh, it's 24.
Yeah,
all right, so
$1. All
right,
I think $1 would be $24.
$2 box,
$1
then,
would be
$48.
Okay.
We'll do a $2 superfecta box. I need to hit the super.
Kramer's
Well, I saw
chasing
that Samich over on VEASAN hitting the super.
And
everyone's
jealous.
complimenting him. It's like they don't remember when I gave out Kyle Juszczyk first reception in the Super Bowl.
How could they forget?
My God,
Kramer, do you want to close things out with the MyBookie money bag? People have been enjoying the MyBookie money bag segment. Kramer hit the PJ Championship money bag was pretty fun. Did they have a Preakness money bag?
No, they don't. I already looked.
Okay.
But I'm down. I think we just do another golf one, right?
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. A little bonus golf action.
Oh, look at
If you guys haven't messed with the money bag, it's pretty fun. You just head over to MyBookie, promo code SGPN, and they will randomly assign you a future. It's a set price, so obviously you could get very lucky, and that ends up being for the golf, obviously a favorite.
All right. So do you want to do? We'll do golf, right?
Okay.
We got golf or football.
We do have a soccer expert with us, Ryan.
Oh,
maybe Malcolm has some FIFA club action.
It's only 24-1 though.
Okay.
The golf is 117-1.
All right, that is more fun. That is higher.
All right.
Good point.
Let's do this. What did we did a big one yesterday. We'll do a medium sized one.
Okay. Ready to spin it?
I got it. All right. Are you ready?
Let's go.
I want John Daly so bad.
That's too big. Too big.
Usually it seems if it's a golfer we've heard of, it's usually a good deal. If it's not,
oh yeah. Just the goal is to know the name. I just want to know the name. I don't
round and round it goes, stopping on.
It's gonna be like Annika's Soren Stam.
Andrew Novak.
This was a bad money back.
Fuck. I'm up to 7.
He's all right.
Son. Is he?
Dustin.
Yeah,
Johnson.
he's not bad. I've bet him before.
Oh, there you go. Malcolm, aka the Silversmith. Where can we? What do you guys got coming up in the Premier League Gambling Podcast? You and Barry. What's the next big match?
Well, it's we're right at the end of the season now. We are on match day 37 of 38. So we only got 2 weeks left. Unfortunately, all the big stuff's already sorted out. But the FA Cup finals on Saturday. I think I would say the world's most prestigious knockout club competition. There's around about 236 clubs enter that competition, and they've made it all the way to 2, where Crystal Palace take on Manchester City. So yeah, we'll give some picks out. Crystal Palace are live underdogs on Saturday. They'll be about 3-1. Yeah, and I think they've got a really good chance. Man City are struggling a little bit, so Palace will give them a game at the weekend.
All right. So wait, 3-1 to win outright.
Crystal Palace.
Huh? Crystal Palace. Okay.
Yeah, 90
I need a
minutes.
little
Yeah, 90-minute betting. Three-way in the three-way market. Win, lose, draw.
All right. I'm in, Kramer.
And
I need
remember,
a little
Sean,
soccer.
if it goes to extra time, it
that
counts
is a
the
loss.
draw.
Yeah. Okay. Good to reminder. We have to remind our audience because
Also,
people get very upset.
Yeah, and if you need help understanding the Asian handicap, feel free to hit me up.
DMs are open. Wolf, obviously you guys covering the Preakness on the Notorious OTB podcast, but walk us through. I know you guys are live every day now, doing a bunch of quick daily episodes. What do we got cooking up?
Yeah, I mean, for this week, we've got 2 of our longer format shows. So tomorrow at the normal time, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. God's time. It's official now. Fucking Pope, guys. All right. We are doing our Black Eyed Susan Day show where we look at it with a $100 budget. On Friday, we have the Time Lord, Craig Milkowski from Timeform US joining us to look at Preakness with a $100 budget. He's proof that white people talking about the wire can accomplish anything together. Because that's how my first interaction with him started. So Friday might also be a small celebration of the David Simon series, Homicide: Life in the Streets and the Wire. But we're 5 days a week, usually at 8 a.m. Eastern. 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 God's time, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and also Friday. And then we do our Thursday long show at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Good time.
Lean into the God's time, please.
Yeah.
I like this.
Wait, God's time is Central Time zone?
That's where the Pope's from.
Oh, okay. You're right. Chicago. Well, Barry, thanks for coming on. Always appreciate hopping on. Follow Barry on X at Urban Handicapper. And of course, co-hosting with the Notorious OTB podcast. I just have to point out, awesome profile on X at Urban URBN Handicapper. You have a sniper in your profile photo, and then your background is a horse racing thing, and you have no chalk zone as part of your profile, which I'm considering stealing. When did you add that to your bio? I love that.
A long time ago, somebody, just mentioned it, like, you don't play any chalk. Yeah, and I said, it's no chalk zone, and it stuck. So I put it up there.
There you go. Well,
It is nice.
I'm the unofficial mayor or alderman.
I
right?
like that,
Wolfie.
He's
Oh,
alderman of Ward 4 of No Chalkful.
There it is.
He's making a strong push for council president.
let's go. Well,
and can I also
yes.
just add
Sure.
compliments to the artist over at the Notorious OTB. Very fire podcast art lately.
Oh yeah, if you like
the art team is crushing it over at the Notorious OTB.
And final reminder, bunch of fun Notorious OTB shirts, of course. Bunch of great merch in the merch store. Promo code DGens, 20% off everything. Mal, I see you're rocking a hoodie there. Bunch of good stuff in the merch store.
I will say, yeah, that's it.
MLB.
Chase's contributions to the merch store are top notch.
Yes. If you just want to talk AI generated art, hit up Wolf.
God.
I'm sure he's down to chat.
It's like an album cover every time. There's like hidden messages. I mean, he is the god.
Junior.
It all means something. It all means something, guys.
Junior Mafia.
Junior Mafia,
represent.
see?
According to,
That's what's up.
Shout out to Bowser.
We're all the right age. It's perfect.
All right. As always,
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
for Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green. He's Ryan.
We're gonna win this weekend, Sean.
Kramer. Let it ride.